What up, what up, what up? Alright, my bad. I'm looking at something real quick. Hey, we here. All this hair. Sheesh. A whole lot of hair, man. Crazy being Native American and shit. I don't even got no papers either. So I don't get no extra money or nothing, you know? I don't get no extra credit. Anyway, this shit crazy. Alright. Let's go. See what we got here, man. Trying to drink this shit while it's hot. You dig? Jeez. Man, what's up? They ain't gonna. Oh, okay, I'm about to say. Gotta sub up my motherfucking arm. Shit crazy, babe. Alright, let's get it. Hopefully I can get a kill. It is the weekend though, you know what I'm saying? So, ain't no guarantees. Alright. I'm about to go down there and see what I can get. Ain't nothing in the sky, so go assault real quick. Alright, let's do it. Hey, we got a helicopter ride in there. Fuck it.
the objectives and secure them. When a sector is secure, we'll push the Americans into the next one.
Take the front!
That was close. He got the radio on. That's a good helicopter pilot.
Oh, we got incoming!
Yeesh. You're not dizzy? Yeah. We got hit. That's funny. He got the music playing and shit. This dude practically landed it. Bitch. It's the weekend, all right.
Tango, on my mark! 130 meters! What? Scratch that!
This dude whipping. Holy sh! Somebody luckily killed me out of the helicopter. I'm getting back in though.
Watch here! It's far!
They didn't even take my seat either. Teamwork, man. The guy that's flying it, his name is Captain. He's flying it in this thing. That's crazy. I've never seen that in the tunnel. This guy is probably the best pilot I've ever seen. Popping flares, going low. It's crazy. Playing music, getting so close to the mountain.
Major located, 300 meters away! Enemy soldier, mark! We can't take much more!
Oh, we gotta get that vehicle out there.
We're at 50% strength.
Damn, this dude flying this thing. It's crazy, bro. This guy's been holding it down the whole time. Good pilots are hard to come by.
Tank spotted, 250 meters!
Sheesh. This guy can't be stopped.
Enemy. Never mind.
There's a truck in there. He got out of there as soon as he saw that shit. This guy, man. He must be on PC or something. With like the real like peripherals or something.
Friendlies are securing objective Bravo 1.
Spotted a hostile. Spotted a
Shooting
hostile.
right away.
250 meters away.
This dude went in the tunnel again. You going back in the tunnel?
Hostile located. 130 meters away.
That's crazy. Truck's still there.
Our troops are moving on Bravo 2.
This fool landing it and everything. Why can't I blow that truck up? There we go. I got him though. I gotta get back in the helicopter.
Eyes forward.
Oh no, somebody took my seat.
This doesn't look good.
Oh, he crashed. Damn. That was fun though.
Objective secured by enemy forces.
Grenade!
At least I got two.
Our forces are advancing to take Bravo 2. Our forces cannot penetrate their defenses.
Oh, but damn, he's a medic. Got him right back up.
I need help over here. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
snuck in and got two of them now.
Help!
He's like, I'm not gonna lie.
Не подходите ко мне.
You're dead. Go to the light.
We are securing objective Bravo 2.
Go to the light. Oh, well, whatever. Alright, let me see. Let's see if anybody is in the chat. Probably not, though. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, let's go ahead and check anyway. Just for, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, though. Like, alright, hold on. Beef, bro.
Found one! Long range!
Alright, there we go. I don't even know what we watching. If we're watching videos today, I ain't really prepared, as they would say. But whatever. So,
Bravo 2 is
yeah,
now
let's
secure.
go. Helicopter. say, don't let me fly. Oh.
Well, this was... You must end this battle quickly.
Yeesh. Whoever was the pilot either got shot out of it or he jumped out. Probably he got shot out though.
Bravo 1 assault initiated by our troops.
Fuck, where's he at? How above? You killed him?
Right there! Let's move!
Fuck, what is he? Like a sniper or
One of our
something?
objectives is under attack.
Oh shit, it's 2 of them. How is that, boy? I knew he was coming for me. That dude flew down and then the other guy was pressing. I ain't had no chance. Trying to hit the moving target. Damn, where was my backup though, man? They all up here apparently.
Our attack on Bravo 1 is underway.
Oh, come on, bro.
Pushed out of an objective.
It's almost over anyway.
We underestimated the
on
resilience.
Truth Network. We started posting new content over there with more content on the way. Taco even has his own show coming soon. So if you haven't done so
Taco.
yet, make sure you subscribe to my second channel, Truth Network, now. You can
Taco has his own show. Let's get to the Adam 22 shit. Let's see.
left No Jumper, and he was once again exposed for his past inappropriate actions. Now, months later, Adam is once again back in the headlines due to yet more controversy. The reason Adam 22 is currently trending is because he announced to the world that he has let his newly wedded wife and the mother of his only child shoot an adult film scene with another man. This news has shocked the world, as many can't believe
Shocked the
Adam
world.
would not only let his wife do this,
That's
but
funny.
be the one who seems to be encouraging this. A couple days back, Adam announced to the world that he had just let his wife go off and do a scene with another man while on his
He said,
podcast.
shock the world.
announcement. I just want to break it to you guys so that you guys all know what's going on, which is basically after 7 years with my girl, after 7 years together, been doing pretty much the whole time, but we got more and more deeper into the conversation.
Oh, my bad.
We decided, we've been having this conversation for a year. Okay. She shot her first ever scene with another man.
Many people were left with many questions. Is Adam into some strange
Hold on.
things?
Years with my girl.
course.
After 7 years together, been doing pretty much the whole time, but we got more and more deeper into the conversation. We decided, we've been having this conversation for a year. Okay. She shot her first ever scene with another man.
Many people were left with many questions. Is Adam into some strange things, or does he really just lack any amount of morality? According to Adam, he let his wife Lena do this scene to further her career in the adult industry. He claims that her fans desperately wanted to see his wife be with another man. Adam then claims that this was the best financial opportunity for them both, admitting that he is encouraged to let her do this because of the potential money it would make
money?
him. Essentially, Adam is openly admitting to the world that he has no issue selling his wife for his financial gain. In my opinion, this all goes deeper than just money. I believe this was Adam's attempt at a comeback since his downfall a few months ago.
It was his
After
comeback.
most of
It was a
Adam's
ploy,
on-screen employees
definitely.
left No Jumper and Adam was exposed, his channel viewership dropped significantly. He was getting a quarter of the amount of views he used to get on his new content. His
Exactly.
audience had obviously abandoned him. With all that Adam was exposed for, his audience had finally had enough of him. Adam
There's
knew
the
if he
guys
didn't
that
come
we
up
were
with
playing
something
with,
to get
bro.
eyes back on him, he wouldn't be able to repair the sinking ship he was on. If you looked at any of Adam's on-screen appearances after the downfall of the channel, he seemed depressed and clearly was feeling the heat. This is when I believe
Right.
he came up with this disturbing plan. I believe
Definitely.
sometime before the wedding, a light bulb lit up in Adam's head.
He was like,
going to
"Holy
turn his
shit."
wedding and wife into the very solution that would save his channel. See, it's obvious everything about this is planned out. Even those talking bad about it are a part of this very plan.
Of course.
This was Adam's final attempt at a comeback, and he is in a weird way succeeding. Adam is in a way,
In a weird
currently
way.
in real time, sacrificing his wife for his career. This is a literal figurative example of what Adam is doing for a comeback. Adam knew that if he let Lena do this scene after the wedding, they would be trending for it. Adam knew if he
Exactly.
would have let Lena do the scene before they were
Before,
married, it
it's
would be
not that
less
big of a deal.
controversial. So he planned it to happen after she would become his wife. Adam is literally telling people like DJ Academics to talk about this in order to promote it to the fans.
Adam hit me.
course.
Adam was like, "Ak, you don't think you went a little bit too hard? I know we talked about this." I'm like, "I'm gonna keep it real with you. I went light." You know, he also did confirm to me as well. Their OnlyFans numbers is off the charts. Sign-ups have been
Right.
amazing, ridiculous, out of this world. Again, I only kind of talked about it because I felt, you know, Adam basically told me like, "You know, we good sports, like we nice, cool."
He is tweeting about how his wife's business
Dang,
is not
tripping.
the same after hooking up with that guy. Adam even went as far as inviting his wife onto his podcast episode to talk about doing that scene. I was uncomfortable watching Adam ask his wife these questions. It became more and more obvious that Adam 22 is an agent of chaos and destruction. He is using his platform to push a destructive agenda. Marriage is a bond by two that is enforced by not only the law, but by the will of God. Adam has
Oh,
made it clear
shit.
many times that he is against
Ain't no
God.
fucking with
He
that
literally
shit.
has an inverted cross tattooed on his face. So it's no surprise that he has no respect for the principles of marriage. He is now pushing content that destroys those very principles. He is pushing this agenda through his
Wow.
platform, and sadly, so many
See,
people are
Adam.
affected by this. Adam knew exactly what he was doing. He knew the elite above him would be happy of him for further corrupting the morals of the masses.
Exactly.
Just like he knew people would be shocked about him doing this, and he would have all eyes back on No Jumper. Taco, when you saw all of this, what did you think
Gotti.
about it?
Oh,
I was
come on.
surprised,
Oh, God,
especially after all the money they just spent on that wedding and the grand spectacle they made out of
They
it.
had to
And
make
it
the
feels
money
like
back.
it was just yesterday he was in the headlines for those
Promotion.
dark reasons that we talked about. Now he's back in the headlines, and it seems like
he's
he's
up
getting
there.
a ton of publicity, or we'll call it infamy, for exploiting his wife. Because from
Infamy.
everything that I've seen, it looks like he's orchestrated this whole thing in conjunction with her, but he's definitely been an advocate for it. Well, he's pretty much perversing the sanctity of marriage, kind of like what you said.
What?
And all for what? Money and some infamy? I call it infamy
Well, it
because
is money,
it's
though,
not really
right?
fame if you're being famous for the wrong reasons, you know? And I think we can all agree exploiting your wife to step out on your marriage, even if it's for business, is definitely wrong.
You know, you said something very interesting right there. That is infamy because he's being famous for the wrong reasons. But if you think about it, a lot of people nowadays
Nobody
are famous for
cares.
the wrong reasons. Even Kim Kardashian, one of the biggest pop culture celebrities in the world, she's famous for the wrong reason. She's famous for doing a scene with Ray J. And that's really just saying a lot about the culture we live in, where it's no longer
J.
infamy because
I hit it
rappers are
first.
famous
That's
for
Ray J,
catching
basically.
bodies and for being the realest criminal and thug that they could possibly be. That would be considered
Right.
for the wrong reasons, in my opinion. But the masses, they see that as it's for the right reasons, as he's so real and so authentic. And same thing with Kim Kardashian. She's being her true self and all this. This is what our world is becoming. And people like Adam that are pushing this agenda is the very reason this is happening. They're normalizing these kind of activities. They're trying to convince people to play their lives just like this. Another thing that you mentioned that's important was
Play
the
their
fact that they
lives.
just
He said
spent all
play
that
their
money on their
lives.
wedding. That's another reason why I believe they saw this as a good financial opportunity as well. But it's like I said,
course.
I don't think this is the only reason they did it. Adam is an obvious Masonic puppet. He has all the nicks and crannies that will tell you that he sold his soul
This
and
nigga
took
said
that
nicks and
Masonic oath.
crannies like he
Not
was at
only
Chips
is he
Ahoy
covered in
cooking or
Masonic
something.
tattoos and
The fuck?
occultic tattoos, but he also comes directly from a family of politicians that's connected directly to the Clinton family. Adam
Right.
22 knows exactly what he is
That's
doing, and he knows
facts.
exactly what agenda needs to be pushed. And that's what he's been pushing through his channel. Look at the things that are pushed through Adam's channel. He pushes this adult stuff with his wife, these adult scenes and all this stuff, and plug talk, whatever he calls it. He also pushes gang culture, anything that
talk, whatever
destroys
he
the
calls
urban
it.
community that he claims.
Wait, he sounds like he got a subscription to Plug Talk. Talking about whatever he calls it. When he knows damn well the name is Plug Talk, he just said it.
To champion when he doesn't. He is
Guilty.
the perfect example of an agent. He came within to destroy, and ever since he's arrived, that's all he's been doing.
Order
He's
out
been
of
using
chaos,
everybody
baby.
around him. Now he's even using his very own wife, the mother of his child, to further his career, to make him bigger, to keep him growing, because he saw his potential downfall so close,
fucking
and
waited
it
too long.
completely freaked him out.
Looking at this and thinking about it too, it unfortunately makes sense. Like, after his last stint in the media where everyone was looking at him and he was being
Motherfucker, I just
exposed
wasted
for
two
his
rockets.
past and the things that he had done, this is what he does. Something else to get him back
Got
into the
your
media
ass.
and to get people to look away from that, you know? To look at something else. And he took it to a whole nother extreme. As opposed to doing
Bro
something
tried to hop out
positive
the
to clear his
helicopter
name
on
or
me
to
and
show
shit.
people like, hey, you know,
Stupid.
this is who I am and this is my family.
And I
Instead, he
killed your
exploits his
homies,
family.
nigga.
We talk about selling your soul. We talk about
Stupid.
taking an oath. And I feel like this is a form of taking an oath because he's literally perversing the sanctity of a marriage for money and infamy. I mean, I can't get in line with it. And even the aftermath of it all, the way that he's capitalizing and doing interviews with people like Whack 100 and with Lena
Whack
herself
100.
and even with the gentleman that performed with her in the video, he's obviously milking this for every last penny that you can get. And to me, it's disgusting.
It's known at this point that Adam is known for lacking accountability. He won't take fault for what he knows he did wrong. He continues to spin the narrative and puts the blame
good
on
at
everybody
that,
else.
definitely.
Like recently,
Like a
I
politician.
actually saw him speaking to
definitely
China
real good
Mac,
at that
and
shit.
China Mac was trying to press him, trying to see if Adam would admit that what he did to House Phone was incorrect and
Yeah,
what he
never
did to the
will.
other employees that left, and also interviewing that Richard Spencer guy. China Mac was trying to get Adam to admit that this was all wrong, you know, just to get an apology out of Adam. And Adam refused. He would not. He would continue to say that he had no reason to apologize. That is my point. He doesn't care what he does.
Holy
It's not
shit,
wrong
bro.
or right. He already has admitted
on
that.
it right
He not
now.
only does he not believe in God, but he doesn't care about morality or morals. All he cares about is making money
money?
and serving this
Oh.
agenda that allows him to make more money. Just like Academic said, like we exposed in the last video, why Drake is now painting his nails, is because Drake had to
Money.
continue to push the agenda. This is the modern agenda if he wanted to continue to succeed. If Drake doesn't do what the others are doing, they're gonna get rid of him and replace him with someone that does. Adam 22 happily does whatever they tell him to do. Just like we see with Bad Bunny and all the rest of these people that rise to the top. Adam knew this was the perfect way to please everybody. He's gotten the attention of the masses like this, and he's gonna continue to do things like this because, unfortunately, there's so many guys out there that would buy into this and give him that attention. It's being ran on TMZ, it's being ran just about everywhere, and it's becoming obvious that he's about to win off of this play. Unfortunately, he shouldn't be getting this attention, you know?
But like you mentioned earlier, though, same thing with like drill music and the artists
Right,
that we're seeing
everything.
popular in all streaming platforms and the music
Babylon,
videos
baby.
everywhere these days. It's that same agenda. It seems like the agenda of sin. It seems like embracing the bad things, you know, where people want to go out and do the things that are fun, even if they're not right or accepted. You know what I mean? Like, look at some of the songs that are trending online now
Debauchery.
and what they're saying and what they're implying people should do. So, like, this is all in
Exactly.
line with the agenda that's being pushed. Him pretty
It's
much
always
selling
been
his
like
wife
this,
out
man.
for clout. Him selling his wife out for money. It's in
There's
the
nothing
agenda. And
new
I hate
under
to
the
say it, like,
sun.
they have a child together. What's going to happen in the
Aw.
future when this child grows up?
You know what's
Are they
gonna
gonna
happen
be
in
grown
the
up in that
future.
kind of culture where
More
that's okay?
baby.
You know,
See.
funny that you say that because I just saw a clip of Lena saying that, oh, I'm gonna raise my daughter not to judge people like Adam or me. But that's not what she needs to be worried about. She needs to be worried about her daughter being judged because of her parents' sins. Her parents' sins are gonna be all over her whether she likes it or not. Kids nowadays, the moment they get a hold of this information, the school she's in, she has a problem with any other girl. This is the
They're gonna be
first
bullied.
line of attack that they're gonna use. Yeah, the daughter might not go judge her mom and her dad, but guess what? The world is definitely gonna judge her, and that's just the way life works. I'm not saying it's
Exactly.
right or wrong, but it's like I said, it's how life works. And Adam and Lena did not protect their daughter. They actually gave people ammo to use against their very own child. They actually
Got it,
created their
Dad,
problem
boy.
for their daughter, and according to Adam, they're gonna have more children because they want to make money right now. So not only is Adam sacrificing his wife, his morals, but he's also sacrificing the sanity of his
Everything.
own children when they have to deal with the
Sanctity
aftermath
and
of this when they're
sanity.
older, you know?
At this point, it's safe to say that he doesn't care about the sanctity of his home, you know?
There
I
we
think
go.
relevancy is more important to Adam than keeping his family healthy,
Of
in my
course.
opinion, you know?
Like, think
Family
about
might
it.
not
If
be
this is
there.
not the perfect
Money will.
example of a man that sold his soul
If
and
you
is
get
willing to
enough.
sacrifice everything, what is? Your home. What people go out and sacrifice for and sell their souls for is to be able to bring back stuff to their home, to their wife, to their kid, to their moms, to their family. Adam is even sacrificing that to be on top. Not even what's in his very
He don't
own
give a
home, his
fuck.
kingdom, what he works so hard for. He's willing to sacrifice that to see it grow even
Adam
bigger.
be crashing
That is
out,
literally
boy.
the ultimate form of a sellout. We already seen countless examples of what Adam stands for, and it's obvious. He sold his soul long ago to be in the position he is, and everybody around him is disposable. He's willing to
your
sacrifice
ass,
whoever's in
man.
front of him to get what he wants. He goes around
thought he
making
was finna
fake
just land
friendships,
over
using
here on
whoever
me.
he can. Now it's Brick Baby and everyone else he got in
Right.
there. Before it was AD, and before that it was House Phone. He uses you. When he's done with you, he throws you in the trash.
Discards you,
And in this very
throws you
moment,
under the
he's doing
bus.
the same thing with his wife. So don't be surprised if in a few months they get a divorce, he throws her out of the picture and starts a whole new life because he only used her for this moment. And I'm not saying his entire relationship was planned for this moment, but he's been
Hell
using her
nah.
the entire time. Adam claims
died.
that Lena was doing all of this when they met, but
Anyway,
this is not true.
right.
When Adam met Lena, he brought her on to Academics' platform
remember.
and was basically offering Lena to Academics in order for Academics to essentially
Didn't get
promote
on.
Adam 22, just to give
Exactly.
Adam 22 clout because
I
he was
remember
trying to
that.
come up. So it shows from the very beginning that Adam was willing
He
to
been pimping that
sacrifice her
bitch
from the
out.
start. There's nothing around him that he holds sacred because this is a man that has denounced God and has literally said that the existence of God is stupid. This is what a man with no morals looks like.
stupid.
This is what a man with no God looks like. Well, we're going to end it right there. I appreciate each and every one of you showing up. Thank you all. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
All right, everyone, take care.
I just want to give a special shout out to the Truth Movement members. I truly appreciate every single one of you. If you'd like to further support the channel, join the Truth Movement, or you can join me on Patreon where I drop exclusive videos monthly. The link would be in the description. Another way you can further support the channel is by checking out the Truth Fist
Damn, it
store
blew
and
up our
seeing if you
tank.
find anything you like. Every purchase you make goes
Alright,
directly
thanks,
to
bro. I
helping the
appreciate it.
channel and furthering Truth Records.
I get it. I got it. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Buy some Truth Movement merch if you're so inclined to.
Requesting deployment of a ranger at this location. Marking enemy helo. Man down, Trip. Tango marked.
God damn, bro. They shooting from everywhere. Damn. That was a crazy spot to be in right there.
One of our objectives is under attack.
Oh yeah, let's check this guy's video out. I like these videos.
Now I know the way of the past civilizations.
Alright. Oh, he got a new intro or something?
Now I know there are some people out there that are thinking this timeline for our current civilization is nearing the end. Or at least wondering whether we're going to win or lose the battle between good and evil. For the first time in
Right.
a long time, I actually have a positive outlook on where we're headed for the time being in the near future. We don't build the way the past civilizations did. We're not there yet, and we're not even close. It may mean that we still have time to grow
We still
and
got a
develop.
lot of
We have
time.
much more to learn as a whole. Just say that every civilization gets to the point of this incredible type of architecture before their timeline ends. This would mean that we're not even close to the end of our current civilization's timeline.
Exactly.
Welcome to episode 29 of My Lunch Break. I hope
Hold
you're
on,
all
let me
having
see.
a
I
great
think
day.
he finna have some
And if you're new,
loud ass music pop up. Yeah, that's little intro music.
And I want to give a shout out to our sponsors over on. Apparently, my great grandfather was a master mason and a leader of the Masonic Lodge. I now have his 1855 book, and I'll be reading
course you
through
do.
this to see if we can find any new answers. There are some interesting chapters in here that talk specifically about construction, which is exactly what we are researching. Hopefully something in here can give us some hidden answers and some new knowledge that we don't already have in circulation. I'm going to take some time to go through the whole thing, but if I find anything important, I'll be sharing it in future episodes. Out of all the chapters here that you can see, comment below which chapter you want me to dive into first. That being said, let's go to Massachusetts. Here we have Bristol County Superior Courthouse. The Romanesque style building was completed in 1894. This was the first courthouse on this site. Wait, no. Second courthouse. What? Third? Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
They
This is
needed
the
three.
fourth courthouse on this site. What came before this? This story is off to a horrible start for the mainstream narrative. Fourth courthouse on this site. Who are we kidding anymore? Now they tell us that Frederick to go through the whole thing, but if I find anything important, I'll be sharing it in future episodes. Out of all the chapters here that you can see, comment below which chapter you want me to dive into first. That being said, let's go to Massachusetts. Here we have Bristol County Superior Courthouse. The Romanesque style building was completed in 1894. This was the first courthouse on this site. Wait, no. Second courthouse. What? Third? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This is the fourth courthouse on this site. What came before this? This story is off to a horrible start for the mainstream narrative. Fourth courthouse on this site. Who are we kidding anymore? Now they tell us that Frederick Law Olmsted was a landscape architect. He liked to design the way plants were laid out, and was completed in 1894. This was the first courthouse on this site. Wait, no. Second courthouse. What? Third? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This is the fourth courthouse on this site. What came before this? This story is off to a horrible start for the mainstream narrative. Fourth courthouse on this site. Who are we kidding anymore? Now they tell us that Frederick Law Olmsted was a landscape architect. He liked to design the way plants were laid out, and trees, and you get the picture. So he goes on to design parks for people to enjoy. He has 2 kids, and does anyone want to take a guess who designs the fourth courthouse here on this same site? You guessed it, Samuel Hannaford and Sons. Oh, no, that was a different episode. I meant the Olmsted sons. So these 2 sons were in charge of drawing and constructing the first courthouse and the demolition. They had to draw and construct courthouse number 2 and then knock that one down. Then the sons had to do the same thing for courthouse number 3. And they finally let the sons of the plant layout drawer keep courthouse number 4 up. Were these sons really in charge of the first 3 courthouses? They really are trying to tell us that they built 3 previous courthouses on this site to enjoy. Yeah. What came before Romanesque style? I'll be sharing it in future episodes. Out of all the chapters here that you can see, comment below which chapter you want me to dive into first. That being said, let's go to Massachusetts. Here we have Bristol County Superior Courthouse. The Romanesque style building was completed in 1894. This was the first courthouse on this site. Wait, no. Second courthouse. What? Third? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This is the fourth courthouse on this site. What came before this? This story is off to a horrible start for the mainstream narrative. Fourth courthouse on this site. Who are we kidding anymore? Now they tell us that Frederick Law Olmsted was a landscape architect. He liked to design the way plants were laid out, and trees, and you get the picture. So he goes on to design parks for people to enjoy. He has 2 kids, and does anyone want to take a guess who designs the fourth courthouse here on this same site? You guessed it, Samuel Hannaford and Sons. Oh, no, that was a different episode. I meant the Olmsted sons. So these 2 sons were in charge of drawing and constructing the first courthouse and the demolition. They had to draw and construct courthouse number 2 and then knock that one down. Then the sons had to do the same thing for courthouse number 3. And they finally let the sons of the plant layout drawer keep courthouse number 4 up. Were these sons really in charge of the first 3 courthouses? They really are trying to tell us that they built 3 previous courthouses on this site and knocked them all down. Now this story gets really interesting, and I was blown away to see that they were actually giving us a name of a construction company and telling us where the granite came from. The name of the construction company was supposedly Beatty and Wilcox of Fall River, and they got the granite from a quarry in Barre, Vermont. I'm not sure how it was transported from Vermont, which is 216 miles away, and this was during a time where most people were riding around with horse and wagon. Cars had just come out 5 years prior. Not everyone had a car at this point. And the shipping trucks that we have today were definitely not around. So even if they had a car, what were they doing? Stuffing massive slabs of granite in the back seat of their Model T? So does this logistically make sense? Of course not. No. It doesn't. This is a 212-minute drive in 2023 with a car that we have today. Just stop and think about carrying massive slabs of granite in the back seat of a wagon, because that's most likely what they had at this time. The horse would have had to pull it for 216 miles. How many horses did they have doing this? Who leads this type of excursion? If this truly happened, this would be amazing. There would be children's songs all about it, and they'd still be sung today. How ridiculous does this sound? I cannot be more appreciative that they tried to give us the information. But come on, this is not realistic, and it's absurd to think that this actually happened. What could come next? Please don't tell me the Freemasons get involved again. Oh, there's no way. That would be just way too obvious that this is an old world building. Oh no. No, no, no. What is this? There was a ceremony coordinated by the Grand Lodge of Masons in Massachusetts. Well, do we need any more proof? Are we all fully awake now and understand the lie? How many times does this story repeat itself? How many times do the Masons get involved? Are they actually building these buildings, or are they finding these buildings and getting them for free? Hence the free Mason. Is anyone still on the fence if this building is from the old world?
Funny.
Should we add yet another proof that this is not logistically possible and fully drive this thing home? The courthouse's construction was said to have begun in June of 1892. In March of 1894, they're planning to plant flowers around the courthouse.
Already done.
I'm no flower planting expert, but I'm pretty sure you don't plant flowers until the project is completed. Was this courthouse built in less than 2 years? Is that honestly possible? Considering they would have had to bring that granite hundreds of miles by horse and wagon, or Model T, and once it's there, they would have actually had to construct it. What is going on here? I'm so glad I'm not the only one reading this anymore, and I have all of you to see it with me. This is insane. This story is absolutely insane. 216 miles with granite over and over with horse and wagon. It doesn't make sense. I would love to know how someone can be fully aware of this information and be fully confident that the narrative is 100% factual. I truly think that the time period where people don't see the truth has ended. Once you want to see the truth, you are able to now. And I want to thank this individual for pointing this one out. It's such a great find. I just want to remind everyone that I'm going to Santa Monica, California in a couple weeks. And if there are any hidden old world structures or places that you want me to check out while being there, just put that in the comments below. Now we have a bonus for today. The Leuven Town Hall. This is located in Belgium and was constructed in 1469. Of course it was. Now for this one, remember, they're not gonna tell you an architect, a construction company, where the materials came from.
Nothing.
They're not even gonna try, because the 1400 date was working. People didn't question it because it was too old. But now we're starting to wake up and realize we were never given any of these answers. And these are key questions to ask. If they don't know who built it, or who constructed it, or where the materials came from, some of the basic questions of building a building, then how can we trust that they know what date this thing was built in, or for what, or why?
Exactly.
The cavemen of 1469 really knew how to put a chisel to work. My eyes tell me that I'm being lied to.
1469 is a
But
long
let's
time
continue.
ago.
This is no ordinary town hall. I was looking at my town hall the other day and trying to compare it to this one. It was really tough to find a single similarity between a town hall built today and this one, built 550 years ago. I settled on they both have lights. So the cavemen's technology destroyed us. Okay, now we all know I'm joking about the cavemen. These people were obviously so much more advanced than we are today. The narrative is clearly lying about the timeline in human history. We are not at the peak of human history. We are held down, suppressed in my opinion. The building that still stands proves this, and this is why they attempt to destroy these buildings time and time again. For example, in 1914, a world war broke out. They attempted to bomb the site, but missed. What do you think happened 25 years later? Another world war and another bomb, this time connecting and destroying a corner along with a major portion of the bottom. We then were forced to repair it, which you can now clearly see our pathetic construction compared to the past civilization. It's right in front of our faces, a clear giveaway. This is possibly the best physical proof showing the past civilization versus us, showing evolution is a myth, showing that we are being lied to at every turn. And these buildings were put here by a much different group of people with a much deeper agenda. This building was not constructed to be a town hall. It was built for something much, much more important. Now don't forget that there are a bunch of brand new t-shirts you can find.
You got a bunch of shit in this store. Y'all go check it out. And this is channel right here if y'all want to. My lunch break. But yeah, he got some good shit, man. You know what? I'm gonna chill for a minute. What NBA Con? What is that?
Looks like the wait's over.
I would watch it, but no. Oh, it's live podcast taping. It got fucking 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz. All right, let's see. What else we got? Uh-oh, here we go. Let's see what this video is about.
But I was thinking about
Right.
that. It's like, if I were to come on here, would they call me a 304?
I don't know. Are you?
I mean, I'm not.
I don't know, are you?
Well, I mean, 304.
Yeah, what?
But I was thinking about
Right.
that. It's like, if I were to come on here, would they? But I was thinking about
Right.
that. It's like, if I were to come on here, would they call me a 304?
I don't know. Are you?
I mean, I'm not.
I don't know, are you?
no.
Well, I mean, 304 can mean other things.
Like,
but
but like, I'm not.
Right.
A
are you
slut.
promiscuous?
No.
Is anybody here
Also,
promiscuous?
I wanna fact check you.
All
Oh,
right.
God. All right. Go ahead.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
you
never
said
wanna answer
women are
that.
more promiscuous than men.
Yes.
That's not true.
It's 100%
What?
true.
It's not
It
true.
is.
100% true.
It's not true.
Okay, fact check me.
Statistics.
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 Here we go.
What's up?
It literally, I think this. Shoot,
Brian be on his shit. Oh,
I got
I
you.
don't like Celsius. Okay, but it said
Windows
that
crash.
since the 80s, they counted this, the promiscuity of men and women, and men have always been
She
higher.
crazy.
But here's the difference, right? So in order to be promiscuous, you need to be able to act on. So what you're saying is men have a higher sex drive, correct?
Yeah.
Which is true. Men biologically, because we have testosterone, have a higher sex drive.
Right.
So you would think that that would lead to men being more promiscuous. And here's the difference, though.
It
The
don't
men
work
who
like
are
that,
capable
though.
of securing casual sex very easily, those men, yes, are
Small
promiscuous.
percentage,
However,
yeah.
the difference is women have more access to being promiscuous because it's very easy for women to get laid, whereas it's rather difficult for men to get laid, relatively
Definitely.
speaking, comparatively speaking. So less men have access to hookup culture. So there are more women who engage in hookup culture who are promiscuous than there are
During the
men.
week.
And this is evidenced by the fact that they've done studies on this, they've done surveys. There are a higher proportion of men between the ages, I believe it's 18 to 29, who in the past year report who are either virgins or who have not had any sex in the past year.
Also, if we're talking about that, if we're talking about facts, men, the reason why they have a higher testosterone than most is because, to repopulate, you can see that in African culture.
Okay.
A lot of them have multiple different
I'm about to
wives and
say.
multiple different kids because they have a higher sex drive. It's normal like that in other different, cultures. It might not be just in America, maybe to you, maybe.
This bitch, how many
but
times she been on
it's-
the show and she still don't
It's
understand?
there. I mean,
It's
crazy.
That's just a biological fact of science.
Right.
But men are more promiscuous. I just fact checked you.
I literally just debunked
She's
what
funny.
you said, but
What
do you
do you
have a
mean
response?
She's a
do you have a
troll,
response
bro.
to any of the points I've just made?
I mean, can you say it again? You talk too fast.
I really don't. I actually talk pretty slow.
She trolling, bro.
I talk pretty slow.
We should talk about
Hold on, no. I do want to have. We can come to that, but I do want to have a little back and forth with you on this because you've challenged me on this. So, you literally want me
Trying to get out of it.
I will pull up. I will pull up the study that I'm referencing, Eric.
Yeah.
It's in the infographics
Please
folder.
do.
We've pulled it up before. Let's see. We have. It is the sex frequency chart, and this is done by the. It's a general social survey. Oh shit, Joptimus! Thank you for the 20 gifted subs, man. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. It's in the infographics folder. It's young men driving the decline in sex. It's called sex frequency. Are you in the sex frequency?
You trying to help him find it or something on the computer? think that's
coming up here in just a sec. And what it's going to show is that young men are driving the decline in sex. The share of men and women between the ages of 18 and 30 reporting no sex in the past year. Erica, can you? This is 18% of women are reporting no sex. This is from 2018. No sex in the past year. 28% of men are reporting having had no sex in the past year.
She said, "Wow, that was it."
The 18 was less. So like.
So
wait,
so there's 10% more men who are not having
2018.
sex. So just based off of that alone, I think you can come to the conclusion that women are more promiscuous than men. There are more women who have access to hookup culture. Any girl can engage in hookup culture. There are men who are like average who can maybe get a girlfriend.
they can hook up and they can.
Average dude, you think
They can.
average guys they can?
Rich people.
They can.
No, but I'm talking about an average guy.
Regular people.
They can get into hookup culture.
She said rich people.
No,
I
not
mean,
really.
most
It's
hookup
really hard.
culture-
It's pretty hard for men to
It's
get
not.
laid.
It's not.
Do you think
Just
okay,
be
so
with a drunk girl. That's
What?
Not in a weird way, but
She's
literally like
stupid.
go to
I think
any
she means
club,
like go to a party,
club,
whatever.
Go to a party.
it's not that
Right.
easy.
It is. Though.
No, it's not.
It
No,
is.
it
It's not.
It is.
Is this
It's
coming
really
from the guy
not.
that doesn't want to walk to go find his partner? Maybe if you like distance and add a couple more miles to your dating range, it might work out.
Well, I do have a question for you. So do you think that who has it harder when it comes to getting laid, men or women?
I'd say men, because men kind
At
of
least she
throw
knows that, I
themselves
guess.
at women. You
Okay.
know? And so it's like
But you just
they
said it's
don't
easy.
even need to
Never
try. Well, just because some men throw themselves at other women doesn't mean that other men have it easy. Do have it easy. I mean, just from my town and my high school experience, even the ugly people were getting like.
Even the ugly people.
I don't know what to
Sure,
tell you.
but
I mean,
okay.
if you have a
here's-
personality and then
Like personality matters so much.
These
Here's
two
some
girls
more
are
evidence I
crazy.
have for you. So, on dating apps, and dating apps is the primary way that people are now meeting, women swipe no on like 90% of dudes. So, you have to understand, like, the vast majority of men are invisible to most women.
Okay, but if you saw what they were swiping no at,
Huh?
you'd understand.
If I saw what?
If you saw what they
So
were
why are you talking
swiping
about
no
dating
at.
apps? I mean, I'm talking about
Like,
like
that's the
in-person
thing.
meeting. In-person meeting, we know like guys pull more than girls because
Guys don't
Girls
pull
don't.
more than
No,
girls.
I mean
They
average
do. They
average
do.
guys that are funny and actually have a personality and
But-
actually have
Not
goals in their
even that.
lives,
They
then
don't even
maybe
have to
then
have
maybe.
that.
But you're adding up these other
Right,
things.
she's
At
like,
the end of the
average
day,
guys aren't
it's
funny.
Because
harder.
it's those other things that make you a different person. So you
I
just want to
just-
be like every other person.
I want to
Like,
say real quick.
Yes, there are
I
average people in the world.
am
Because you have no
sorry, but
personality.
I have to drive 8 hours
me?
home, so I'm gonna go.
Rip.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah, you got work at 8 in the morning.
And this is like really, really interesting.
Or you know what? What if you stay till 11:11? That's a lucky number. That's another 6 minutes.
Yeah, because
If you
got
want
that drive.
chime
I
in.
forgot about
She's got that drive.
Yeah.
Look, here's the thing. Most men are invisible to most women.
Right.
Most women
He
can
like,
sleep
y'all
with
trying to
most
get
men.
off topic.
Most men cannot sleep with most women. You disagree with that?
Okay,
no.
there might be a little truth.
You trolling,
to it.
bro.
What do you mean a
Okay?
little truth? There's
little
massive truth to it.
But listen,
There's
I just,
it's only
I
truth.
don't know why men think now that they have it so hard, because when I was growing up in high school and just seeing like party culture and club culture and just like this, you know, just like that's all they did.
She was slutting it up in high
And,
school.
Seeing like ugly guys, horrible guys, like maybe they aren't super ugly, but they're just awful personality. You know, I would see them getting laid all the time.
You don't know that.
Okay,
And, like-
that's
What
not
is she talking about?
evidence.
But
that-
I'm
Okay,
just
you want
saying-
evidence? Look at the rappers and look at all the famous social media stars that are kind of
Those
mid
aren't average
and
guys.
have bagged the
No,
big,
yeah,
like
I
the
mean-
baddest.
Those
I'm
aren't
talking about-
average
they're bad
guys.
as-
So
but-
so just to be clear, you are
Are you?
you're talking by the way, this is not a debate about like, we're not talking strictly about physical appearance. You just referenced men with really high status and who probably make good money. That's an attraction trigger for women.
Yes.
But how many men are famous rappers and musicians?
Yeah, he's talking about
a very small
average
proportion of men.
dudes.
We're talking about for the normal average guy. We
That
can
doesn't
talk
seem
about
like my problem. That's why you have to build something with another person.
Not everybody's
It's-
gonna be
if
a rock
They build up their
star.
career, then oh well. Like that's why there's always such thing as day ones. People who have stayed down with you when you had nothing and believe in your music career, and until when you're already up on top, and now you actually call yourself a rapper, a celebrity.
And shit
They're
cap
with
right
you
here.
from that
exception
time of
does
point.
not
Talking about.
prove the rule. You're
Right.
looking at these cases of
You want to like
high
limit
status people.
yourself. Like you could be an artist, you could be that person if you put in the hard work and dedication.
What's she
You're
talking
saying
about?
average people because average people limit themselves to their own fantasies, their own beliefs. But I'm not average people. I don't believe or shelter myself in these little shallow
It's
thoughts
funny.
that you have of yourself of saying, oh, average people this, oh, average people that. Like, okay, be better. Like, what the fuck is your problem? You
I
keep
mean,
talking
we-
about a problem, but I don't hear any solutions. Like, if you want to like be better in a better situation, put yourself in a better environment. Maybe
want
open your
solutions.
status. Maybe open your mind to other people. There's so many things that like you're like
She
you're the
just running
problem
her
of your own
motherfucking
thing.
mouth.
Like
Sheesh.
there's no there's guys, there's girls. Maybe girls around you. Maybe if you put
I'm by the way, just to be clear, I'm not necessarily
He's not talking
speaking
about
for
himself.
me. I'm
He's talking about
speaking
in
on the
general
experience
terms.
on behalf of average or normal guys.
So if
Right.
you,
But
then
I've
don't say on
experienced-
it.
I've-
Then if
I've
you're not,
been
if
there.
you're not you've been there.
Yeah, of course. I
Everybody
know
has.
dating. I've been on the dating apps. I know how it is.
Have you had sex?
Yeah,
Have
So
you
what
had
is your current
sex?
relationship
That's
status?
funny.
bro. It's hard for men to get laid. Point blank. Period.
It's
No, not
hard
really.
for
If
them
you
to
have
get
enough
laid.
See,
money,
your projection.
if you-
This is the difference. Women, you
It's
again,
'cause they
men
can
are
get
invisible
laid,
to
they
most women,
think
so you're projecting.
that everybody can.
Like you're only looking at a certain
Okay,
portion
then
of
be
men.
seen by
Are
that
you
person.
looking- but I
What the
think
fuck are you
you're also
talking about?
talking about a little certain portion.
Okay,
of
if you
men.
want to be
I'm not-
seen,
I'm not
be
talking
seen,
about a
fix
small
yourself.
portion of
like
men.
dead
It's
ass.
talking
The
about the
whole world will
general
turn their back
public.
on you.
Yes,
and
men
you as
should
a
level
person,
up.
and you as a person should turn the world back around and be like, listen, this is me. Like this is me as a person and confident and being like, oh, I'm not an average person.
Man, this bitch
You
is
literally just
crazy.
put yourself in a whole like 80% number. Why don't you want to be better? Like why don't you want to be part of that 5%? You could be part of that 5% if you put that hard
He
work and
already said
dedication.
he not talking about
I guess
him.
you're just
Okay,
an
we can
average
talk.
person.
We can
thinking
talk
some
about
average ways.
we can talk about aspirational goals and shit. The reality
the
is
same
that
shit, though.
there are normal average people, and that's kind of what I'm talking about.
with
I'm not.
no
Alright.
Okay.
with no hobbies, with no goals,
That's
and
not
no
true.
nothing.
Look.
Brian.
They just
Right.
go along and drift off
Okay,
in life.
let me have a
That's
back and
not
forth with
true. She
Sophia. Go ahead.
crazy.
supposed to be
I
11.
understand.
All she do is just run her mouth trying to, what's her name?
Do you guys
Hijack the conversation and shit. Like she know what she talking about.
think that body count matters?
Uh-oh.
Yes.
This the question they hate.
Yeah, because he needs experience.
Okay, so you mean it matters in that direction? Okay, so
That's funny.
maybe I should frame it in two different ways. Do you object to men
Right?
caring about body count insofar as men preferring women with a low body count?
Right, exactly. That's what he
And
means.
then do you prefer men with
See her
more
face?
sexual?
That's funny.
Yeah, because she says yes, she wants a high body
a
count.
guy who has a high body
But
count.
I'm saying yes because I think if you have a high body count, that shows that you're just kind of messing around and you don't have standards if you're just
Right.
out here slinging it.
Fucking everybody.
Slanging it.
Slanging it.
Slanging that slang. Okay. So you prefer a guy who's more experienced because you want a good sexual experience, I imagine.
And I don't mind. I
Right.
can give you experience. I need experience too. So when we get married, we can get.
She
we can
finna-
practice.
Are you
Yeah.
Are you waiting until
She finna
marriage?
practice.
I am.
Are you V
yes.
card?
You
virtuous.
So I.
Oh, born again?
She a born again virgin.
Yeah.
Can I have you just scoot your microphone that way just a tad? Maybe that's a bit too much, but maybe back. That yep, well done. Sorry guys, OCD kicking in here.
Well done.
So not a virgin, but you from here on out, you're waiting until marriage to have sex.
Yeah.
So what is it, like a bad experience you had?
Born again.
I
Born again?
regret doing it. Yeah.
Oh.
Damn.
How many?
Like, is
that
it for the
sucks.
first time?
What was the body
or-
count on that one?
2.
2? Okay.
So I've had
Reasonable.
2 boyfriends and the.
She banged it out twice though.
Okay.
I mean, that's part of life. I mean, everything
Right.
is part of regrets.
Yeah, I know. That's what I learned from it, and from here on out, I'm waiting until marriage.
Right, of course.
Congratulations. At
From
least you know
here
what you
on
want.
out, she's waiting until marriage.
Well, that's just for me. That's not like for.
But you know what you want. That's good.
Congratulations.
Are you laughing at me
thanks.
singing? You got a problem with my singing? Sophia, how dare you?
I think you're.
Drink your Celsius.
I am.
Down. What's up, Sophia? What's up?
She on him.
Oh, you're about to say, I think.
I'll chug it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Be
You
trolling.
think I have a good voice, is what?
Yeah.
That's what it is. Okay, got it.
I'm just like, I don't know.
You're charmed by my singing voice.
Yeah.
You're
like,
endeared.
I don't know what to do. Like,
You're.
oh my God, your voice.
Wow, you're just.
She's awake.
Wow, that Celsius really kicked in.
Did you some
That
favors,
was
girl?
Pound it. Okay.
He said pound it.
So, okay, born again virgin, waiting till marriage. Body, you care about body count insofar as you want a guy who has sexual experience because you want to be pleased. You don't want to be teaching a guy how to you, basically.
Damn.
You don't want no scrub.
Basically.
Can you sing that song? I feel like Nikki has a good singing voice. No?
No,
Come
I
on,
don't.
give us a little something.
swear
He said, I feel like.
Do you know
she
that
can
No
sing.
Scrub song though by, was it TLC?
I do.
What's that song? TLC?
TLC. Hey, give me a second. I'll be right back, all right? Yeah. Alright, I'm back though. For real. This time. Alright. Alright. I had to, you know what I'm saying? Go handle some shit real quick. Alright. We back though. Let's finish this video.
But you're like, no.
You got pipes.
You,
big-
but you look
Nikki.
like you could though, which
You
is
got
crazy.
pipes.
Yeah.
You look
Let's hear
like
it.
you could.
Come on. It's okay. We won't peer pressure you. What about
You're
Sophia?
like,
Let's hear
I'm
Sophia.
sorry. I'm gonna let everybody down.
Here.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna let everybody down. So.
Sophia, here's
She's
what
like,
I
I
want you
can't
to do.
sing.
What?
Put,
Well,
yeah, and
I
we do
answered,
need to go
nobody
around
else-
the we will go around the
Oh,
table
I
on the
didn't
body count
hear you
thing.
say- I'm so sorry. Mine's 20.
Body count, she got 20.
I'm not saying, but it's low.
What?
Well, why wouldn't you say?
Because I don't want anyone to know.
Is
You
it
don't
less
want
than
nobody
5?
to know, of course.
Yeah.
Sus.
Is it less than 1?
And then you multiply it by 3.
Right?
Multiply it by 3 and that's the real number.
No, you're good.
I know all your tricks.
I know. We
Do you?
Yeah.
Are you
Of
you're a
course, she a
fan?
troll.
Yeah.
Do you watch? You,
I'm a
hate.
big fan.
You hate watch
I told
all the
you.
How
episodes.
did you know?
Oh wait,
Lexapro donated $100.
Lexapro.
You look like the type of
She
person
like
to
him,
eat
definitely.
popcorn with a spoon.
That's directed at
Who
you.
eats popcorn with a spoon?
I think that was directed at you, Sophia.
Sophia.
Oh my god. How would we know who that was
There.
directed at?
I mean, you
Maybe
called for
the
the smoke,
only
like you
person
had
who wanted
asked.
to be
Yeah, you
roasted.
requested.
And that was the roast. I'm a
four
little
words.
disappointed.
Oh, don't be careful what you wish for. Trust me, they will come. They are ruthless.
Same here. Like, I eat popcorn with a spoon. Sounds like a life hack
What?
to me.
Okay. So, Tiffany, should body count matter?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
In terms of, hold on, that's not a great question.
Damn, he got his shit blocked.
Do you, okay, let me reframe the question. If any of you here who already answered, do you object to men caring about a woman's body count? Is a better question.
No, I
Do you
don't
object?
You don't, so you're fine, like if a guy, he has a preference for dating a woman
I'm
with a low body count? Oh, hold on.
Martin donated $100.
Sorry, one sec, guys.
Ms. Overalls, you said virgin, and I told them to fuel the jet ASAP. And then you said born again, and I cancelled the flight. Then you said 2 bodies, so I multiplied by 3. To the rocket
course you did.
scientist, you said your body count is very low. So like your IQ.
It sounds like you're mad. Personally, like what?
Thank you, Martin, for the super chat. So is he rescinding his
I think he's talking
invitation? He's talking to Sophia or talking to you?
I think that was a two-part situation.
It was a two-part
yeah,
situation?
I think that was a two-part situation.
He
Okay.
dumped her.
That was
That's
a little
what
out of
I
pocket.
heard.
I'm
Well,
not gonna
can we
lie.
keep going
Looking
around
for
the
some
table
more
because
videos.
because
She want to tell her
They're
body count?
commenting on what I said, but they haven't even given their answers yet.
wait.
Okay.
What? I'm confused.
People are picky. Dead ass. Two
Who?
body, like 2. Really? You're getting mad over?
No,
2
I don't
men?
care, but I'm just saying let's
Like,
keep the question going.
marriage
Right.
is
Do you object to men caring about body count?
I think it's circumstantial. It depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a virtuous woman, then you care. If you're not looking for a virtuous woman, you don't care about that, then whatever. It's really up to you.
How do you feel about hookup culture?
I don't subscribe to it. Not into it.
Lightning. Oh,
She ain't want
I saw fireworks.
Oh,
She
yeah.
don't
I'm like
subscribe
a
to
reader,
it.
doesn't like- okay.
That's okay.
It's not a YouTube channel.
So you don't object to men caring about body count?
It's really up to whatever their values are, to be honest with you. And I can't tell them what they can and can't care about. I mean,
Okay.
I don't care.
Don't care?
I think it's just a personal preference of the guy.
Okay. Go ahead, Yuki.
I don't care.
Don't care? Okay, wow, don't hear that every day. You know what? We should react to an Andrew Tate video because he really hammers home this thing
Tate.
about body count. Eric, you know our OG clip that we've used to play a whole bunch. We can pull that up. So we are going to react to a Andrew Tate thing, and so that's going to be coming up. Who here is familiar with Andrew Tate? Oh, what?
Sophia Does Drugs donated $100.
Word?
The amount of time people can tolerate her is directly proportional to amount of cleavage visible.
That's funny.
What did they say?
That is funny.
What did they say?
Oh, do you want me? You know what? I'll do you a solid. Let me just play it again.
I love that.
Hold on.
I didn't hear.
It's a good one.
Sophia does drugs. I heard that. That's all I heard.
Hold on, it's gonna trigger again. Don't worry, I got you.
Sophia Does Drugs donated $100. Sophia learned long ago that the amount of time people can tolerate her is directly proportional to amount of cleavage visible.
Played it twice.
Your response to that?
Funny.
The response is still loading. We gotta wait.
I don't know. Thank you.
This is fucking cool. Right
At
here.
least you didn't call me ugly.
That's all she
said
cared
you got
about.
nice titties.
What?
I'd rather be like a stupid than ugly.
They didn't call me stupid, ugly,
Okay.
or any
I don't
bad
believe
How's
you.
that Celsius looking?
It's
Is it
like
halfway?
Halfway.
Halfway? Did you get liquored up too before the show, or was it just the?
He definitely faded.
Tiffany, do you smell alcohol on her breath?
Get the breathalyzer.
I smell the fucking. Thank
This house
What is it? What is it? What is it called?
Wait,
The
what's that
drugs.
beeping?
We didn't.
What?
I'm
Hold
not
on,
gonna, I'm not
what's
trying
going
to cut
on?
nobody off, but we never even finished her question about everybody's body count. Only me and her are the only ones who said anything.
Oh, revealed their body count. You mean?
Right.
Okay. Body count.
10.
10. Okay.
I won't get into specifics, but less than 10.
So 9.
9.
I'm not gonna get into specifics.
Okay.
But yeah.
Same here. I'm not going to get into specifics because I
Can
feel
you
like
give
that's
a
a
range?
conversation that you should have with your partner. It's a single digit, though.
Okay.
I'll say that.
Fair enough. What about you?
It's 8 to 10.
8 to 10. Okay.
No specifics.
In the past month?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
In the past month.
And Yuki?
I was gonna say 0.
0.
Multiply it by
Obviously.
3 and that's the real number.
If you multiply 0 by 3, that's still 0.
It's 0.
Yeah,
It's still
that's
0. So that was for everybody, though.
Well, I feel kind of stupid
None
now
of it
because
can numb
I
that
also
type of
think that it's a topic you should say with your partner, but I thought we were all gonna answer. So.
Well, Nikki
I mean,
was
stupid.
Nikki
No, I
came
feel
in.
fucking stupid
She mad
too.
now.
So.
No,
don't feel
Nikki,
stupid.
no, don't say that.
Well,
I mean, why we're not
why
being
are you
discreet?
gonna ask a question and
Like,
everything be like, oh, I won't give specifics.
Hey,
like,
Tiffany
I didn't know I was with the
answered,
Justice
Nikki
League.
answered.
I honestly
We're
just
being
don't know
discreet
what
for
the
what?
specific
Like-
is. It's
They
8 to
mad.
10.
There could have
That's
been
funny.
like she was at a sorority party.
Okay, but we said
fraternity
actual
party,
numbers. We didn't give you a range. That's what we're kind of like. What the fuck is
There's
that?
only 3 difference with that.
Okay,
high.
but the
Really not
people
that
who
big of a deal.
like, I'm not
said 8 to
directing
10,
it
that's
to
actually
you.
No, I'm just
being-
saying that's a vulnerable question, and we were honest,
hold
and
on,
nobody
hold on.
else.
Sophia Does Drugs donated $100. Anyone that fucks Sophia should be able to write it off on their taxes as a charitable contribution.
Dude, I told you they were going to come for you now.
They're coming out of the woodwork for you.
That was it, though. Hold on, let me look at this shit real quick. This shit look tight. Hold on, let me just see what it look like. It's pretty cool. That's how you make a 3D world right there. A lot of people don't realize you can make a 3D world in 2D. I'm going through the door again. Or a mirror. Hey, I need somebody to make me a 3D world like that for my background. Or I gotta figure out how to do it myself. Like normal. Pretty cool though. That shit go on for like 12 hours. So we ain't gonna play it the whole time now.
Humanity doesn't want to understand. So let's see this whole stuff with the Gleason map. I have apologies because they're super high resolution, super quality, lots of megabytes, these 4 photos. So this is the standard Gleason map, right? Which is very hated because, you know, it shows the world and the ice wall and everything, 1892, okay? So that's something people know. People insulted because nobody wants to investigate properly. Okay, we stick with this one, and now let's see Vibes of Cosmos. Vibes of Cosmos, this is like the Pangaea selenographic map, which I bought from his shop. By the way, I left the description in the description box below the video. You have the link to his shop if you're interested. I'm doing this out of free will. No partnership. I'm not getting anything in exchange. I do it just because I want to do it, okay? So this is the geographical map of the world. Now, what we've seen before, like the Gleason map, which is from the end of the 19th century, you could say that this part is this part
Right
here.
there.
So the one that has more color. That's the known world. Now, of course, on the Gleason map, you're not going to see Atlantis and Lemuria. How should you? Because it was 1892. How should those people have any knowledge about that? You know, even if they had. He probably didn't. We're not even allowed to do it. So anyway, that would be like that part of the world here. And then if you go to the physical world map, which is the latest map that Vibes of Cosmos published in January this year, this would be again the same stuff we see on the Gleason, but that section of the moon plasma, which is like what would be called like the section within the ice wall. I'm gonna cover a bit the whole thing with the ice wall at the end of the video. And here, for example, this is Hyperborea, as you can see, Hyperborea, and this is Iceland. And that's why I'm saying, let's go in a straight line and see where the ship and the plane takes us. When you go to a port or an airport, you go where they allow you to go, not where you want to go. So yeah, and then this is Africa. Look at Africa, so close to Atlantis and the other places. This map is awesome. This geophysical map is 190, almost 190 megabytes. So yeah. And here is Spain, you see, so Europe, Russia, India, and this would be, this is Australia, and this is South America. Look at the size of South America compared to North America. And this is the size of Alaska, very big, because of course Alaska has like more territory as well. And this would be Atlantis here at the west of Africa, and this is Lemuria between South America, Asia, and Australia, which makes sense because Lemuria is that exotic land, right? And this here is not ice. These are the continents where the Germans and the NASA missions are going, right? So, and then of course you have the world political map, which is the same stuff, but I'm just showing you different resolutions and different colors, so you understand it's the same thing. The Gleason map is the basis. And again, so this is where the ice wall comes. People were asking the question, so where is the ice wall in the dome? Okay, right. First of all, have you ever seen, oh sorry, because when you see loading it's because it's 190 megabytes and I'm doing this video with my video editing software, so the system is very loaded right now. So apologies, we'll just have to wait for it to load until this loading disappears. Let's go to the geophysical map. Let's go to the political map. Where's the ice wall? Going back to Gleason, nobody said that Gleason is perfect. My question for you is, have you ever seen the ice wall? No, you are not allowed to explore beyond the 60th parallel, 60th, 70th. There's no ship, no plane to go there. Everything we know about the ice wall is from books. What was written by James Cook, Captain James Cook in the 1700s. It's just like letters in a book. That's it. And we have certain stories, again, letters in a book. So text, we have some text. There's no photo, there's no scientific investigation, there's no military exploration, there's nothing in the 1800s or the 1900s. So you go to these YouTube videos and Facebook pages and internet websites, and you go to your super awesome mega supreme whoever creates content on the internet, and you're saying, oh, the ice wall and the dome. Yes, we know that some ice exists. We know that there's some kind of electromagnetic force, we call it dome, whatever, NASA knows it. We have Project Dominic in the 60s when they bombed, they sent nukes into the sky. We have the NASA missions, the rockets go in a parabolic shape and nothing goes straight in a straight line in space, and then they change to computer graphic images. But we never have, so we don't have anything specifically, physically, in the real world about the ice wall, because we are not allowed to explore in a straight line. What's so hard to understand? Let's go to the geophysical map. We are not allowed to explore in a straight line. There's no one going in a straight line from the continents in any direction. There's no plane, no ship. When you travel, you go where you're allowed to go. You want to travel from, I don't care where you live. You go to the airport or to a port and you go where you're allowed to pay your ticket to go. You're not allowed to explore. When you go to Antarctica, well, I'm not gonna change it because it's too much. This is South America. And this is the tip of Argentina and Chile. And these are what would be the Terra del Fuego. So as you can see, because the thing is here, you cannot call this the ice wall because we don't know the extension. There, like I said, I made some videos. There's some touristic ships that go a bit a tiny bit exploring the tips of the first icebergs. They're not even the continent, it's a peninsula and some icebergs. And that's it. There's no one else going in a straight line further beyond, so we don't know. Admiral Byrd, he didn't say anything. He just said, oh, we encountered force, we had to come back. End of the story. And that's it. So when you say the ice fall, we don't know where it starts, we don't know how long it is, we don't know the temperatures because we have absolutely no idea. There's only some touristic companies with touristic ships. You pay $20,000 or $30,000 to see the first icebergs, and that's it. And you come back to Argentina and to Chile. Or if you go to Australia again. So Australia, you go and you see the first tips, the first icebergs, and that's it. And there's nothing else. So again, when you say don't be an indoctrinated person, you go to online and you say, oh no, that's I don't know how, because like people are saying, oh, I'm just like switching from one concept to the other. No, what I'm trying to say is that we have a moon on the sky. There was this guy, from scientific guy, we have the interview of this scientific guy before the Apollo missions of 1969. This guy made an interview in 1967 or 65, and he told the people on the news, he was a proper science person from a university with a PhD doctorate, and he said, the moon is plasma. We cannot touch it, there is no solid surface. And then of course in 1969 we have the Apollo missions. Now, that's the only thing we have. That's why I consider Vibes of Cosmos as the only thing close enough to the reality of the real world, because at least we have something we can see.
Here, y'all want to see the video he's talking about? Hold on, it's right here.
So now, one thing, you have a theory about the moon, and we expect to be able to get observable facts about the moon fairly soon. What is your theory?
Well, it is by now rather more than a theory. 10 or 11 years ago, I stated to various scientists that the moon is not a piece of rock, but it is a plasma phenomenon, cosmic plasma.
There you go.
That this fact will eventually be confirmed. I made certain predictions which were already confirmed in 1958.
Y'all didn't hear it? We're going to play it one more time for y'all.
And we expect to be able to get observable facts. Now, one thing, you have a theory about the moon, and we expect to be able to get observable facts about the moon fairly soon. What is your theory?
Well, it is by now rather more than a theory. 10 or 11 years ago, I stated to various scientists that the moon is not a piece of rock, but it is a plasma phenomenon, cosmic plasma, and that this fact will eventually be confirmed. I made certain predictions which were already confirmed in 1958, and the situation now is coming close to a complete confirmation.
What will be the result if you're proved to be correct in your theories?
The result will be profound and decisive, because it will give proof that a complete re-investigation of the laws of nature is necessary. Because if the moon is a plasma, no man will ever land on it.
My bad. Hold on,
now, one thing, you have a theory about the moon, and we expect to be able to get observable facts about the moon fairly soon. What is your theory?
Well, it is by now rather more than a theory. 10 or 11 years ago, I stated to various scientists that the moon is not a piece of rock, but it is a plasma phenomenon, cosmic plasma, and that this fact will eventually be confirmed. I made certain predictions which were already confirmed in 1958, and the situation now is coming close to a complete confirmation.
What will be the result if you're proved to be correct in your theories?
The result will be profound and decisive, because it will give proof that a complete re-investigation of the laws of nature is necessary. Because if the moon is a plasma, no man will ever land on it. The soft landing attempts will all fail. That means that the mass of the moon is far less than is currently assumed. It's in a different state of energy, and it has far less mass. That means there is no more explanation for the tides. If the moon, for example, had only 1,000th part of its current mass, then the tides would only be 2 inches high under conventional theories instead of sometimes 14 feet. And that means that if it is proved that the moon is a plasma, then all gravitational theories are out, and a new concept of the cosmos and of its laws has to be evolved.
Aren't you being a bit adventurous, though, because you know we're going to be able to test out your theories on the moon fairly soon?
Well, not anymore. 11 years ago, of course, it was rather taking a risk. I was considered a lunatic, of course. But by now the evidence, accumulated evidence, is already so much in my favor that I'm not taking any risks anymore. On the contrary, there is scientific views expressed all over the world now that the moon seems to be of a quite different nature from what was assumed.
But the Americans and Russians are thinking of landing men on it.
Well, that will never happen. Not on the moon. On Mars, on Venus, on other planets, yes, but the moon, quite different nature of what was assumed.
But the Americans and Russians are thinking of landing men on it.
Well, that will never happen. Not on the moon. On Mars, on Venus, on other planets, yes, but the moon is definitely, as I assert, a plasma.
There you go. That's the interview he talking about right there. In this video.
Beyond the sky, yes, we have the Nikon cameras. You zoom, you see craters, and Vibes of Cosmos explains, and that's how I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try to do it at English, street level, basic conversation, so that I can understand and people can understand, because you know it's important to understand at basic level English and not complicated stuff. And that's
y'all get the point. Let's watch this real quick.
This, Your Majesty, is Rupert, our young editor. How do you do, Rupert?
How do you do?
Sit down. And what's that you're reading?
Karl Marx.
Surely you're not a communist.
Do I have to be a communist to read Karl Marx?
Rupert. That's a valid answer. Well, if you're not a communist, what are you?
Nothing.
Nothing?
I dislike all forms of government.
Somebody must rule.
And I don't like the word rule.
Well, if we don't like the word rule, let's call it leadership.
Leadership in government is political power, and political power is an official form of antagonizing the people.
What magazine did you say he edits?
A commentary on current events.
Pardon me, but, my dear young man, politics are necessary.
Politics are rules imposed upon the people.
In this country, rules are not imposed. They are the wish of all free citizens.
Travel around a bit, then you'll see how free they are.
Exactly.
But you didn't let me finish.
They have every man in a straitjacket, and without a passport, he can't move a toe.
But if you'll allow me to...
In a free world, they violate the natural rights of every citizen.
But you don't let me fully...
They have become the weapons of political despots.
Yes, but may I...
And if you don't think as they think, you're deprived of your passport.
Will you allow me
to leave a country is like breaking out of jail.
Yes,
and to enter a country is like going through the eye of a needle.
But
am I free to travel?
Of course you're free to travel.
Only with a passport.
Will you allow me to say something?
Only with a passport. Do animals need passports?
No.
Have you finished?
It's in Congress that in this atomic age of speed, we are shut in and shut out by passports.
If you'll shut up and let somebody else talk...
And free speech, does that exist?
No, you've got it all.
And free enterprise.
We were talking of passports.
Today it's all monopoly.
All right. Now will you...
Can I go into the automobile business and compete with the auto trust?
If I can get in a word...
Not a chance. Can I go into the grocery business and compete with the chain stores?
Will you shut up?
Not a chance. Monopoly is the menace of free enterprise. As I look back 60 years ago...
Where were you 60 years ago?
He was a glint in his great-grandfather's eye.
Very well now. Have you finished? Now let me say something. Let me tell you how wrong you are. In the first place... In the first place... Now I've forgotten what I wanted to say.
That's funny. Anyway, he didn't have shit to say, no way. Hold on, let me turn down the music a little bit. I think they got some other shit going on.
I'm the creator of Maps, History, and Government Information at New York Public Library. Today we'll be talking about the Astronomicum Caesarium by Petrus Apianus, which is considered the finest book produced in the 16th century.
Damn. New York Library. Or Public Library.
Astronomicum Caesarium loosely translates as the Astronomy of the Kings. It was produced in 1540 over a period of 8 years in Ingolstadt, in what is now Germany, by Petrus Apianus for Charles V, the Holy Roman Emperor, and Ferdinand II, the King of Spain. It is an astronomical text that deals with geometric measurements of the moon, spheres, heavenly bodies, and astronomy in general. One of the most amazing things about the Astronomicon Caesarium is that even though it was produced in 1540 by a geocentric thinker, the mathematical models and the geometric models still apply today to spherical bodies in our solar system. It is one of the most lavishly illustrated books from the 16th century. It was actually illustrated and colored by Petrus Apianus himself, and only about 40 of the original first edition, of which this is, were produced. They were so astronomically expensive when they were produced that they actually had to gift a copy to Henry VIII, which he somewhat mocked by saying there's no way that England could afford to purchase a copy. So we're very fortunate to have one of these first editions in our collections here in the Rare Book Division. One of the most striking things about the Astronomicon Caesarium is its use of volvels. These are rotating discs used to do spherical geometry. There are more than 70 within the work, including the dragon volvels, so-called because they depict dragons. Dragons were thought to be tied to eclipses. It was thought that the dragon's tail is what came between the Earth, the Sun, and the Moon during an eclipse. And so what's interesting about the Astronomicon Caesarium is you get these lavishly illustrated volvels that are kind of a combination of astronomical thought at the time mixed with this sort of classical mythology about heavenly bodies and the interactions that they have on human beings and the Earth.
All right.
Looking at the Astronomicon Caesarium, we find a tie-in not only with the history of astronomy, but also with the history of cartography. One of the things that a visitor to the Polonsky exhibition will notice is the breadth of the cartographic collections that are on display. These include things such as the Harmonia Microcosmica, which is a celestial atlas from the 17th century, all the way to modern depictions of the urban landscape, such as the original topography of Manhattan Island. It's important for the New York Public Library to collect and preserve maps because the history of cartography is reflective of cultural history across the world. Mapping traditions vary from people to people, culture to culture, but they also reflect a culture of book production, modification of knowledge that really can be a gateway and provide insight into our own times.
So there you have it. And that was, I'ma holler at y'all motherfuckers later, man. I got some other shit I gotta do, but yeah, it was cool. Maybe tomorrow, maybe later today. We'll see. I'm out.